Hello, how you going? My name's Jack, and this is my round of 16 prediction for the AFCON Cup of Nations 2022. I did do a group stage one to this. I obviously got a few wrong, like Algeria not getting out of the group at all. It's kind of like the World Cup curse for the champions. Ghana, they didn't get out of the group as well, even though they didn't pick their best squad for this tournament, even though they had Partey and the Ayew brothers and that. They still should have got out of the group. And even Tunisia not making it out of the group when they could qualify for the World Cup. The start of the tournament, for me, was pretty boring. There was, I think there was like 8 games in a row where it was just 1-0, with a 0-0 in the middle, 1 or 2 0-0s in the middle of all that. And the first whole round was just 1-0 wins, and that was it, besides the host Cameroon winning 2-1. So I thought that this was going to be a bad tournament because it was just really boring to start off with. Just like, I think it was South Africa 2015, I think it was. Yeah, it was like that for me there. But yeah, I'll be doing my round of 16 predictions. Hopefully I get them all right. If not, not too bad. I'll just move on to the quarterfinals. So yeah, let's get started. First game is Bikini Faso versus Gabon. That's a very open game. Burkina Faso probably have more of a well-balanced team, but they're more of a selfish type of a team. Like every time someone gets the ball, they're not looking to pass it, they're looking to go on a run and score themselves instead of looking to use their teammates, what they're there for. When Gabon, even without Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, when they did bring him, but he had some sort of sickness or something like that, so he had to go home. They haven't played him at all this tournament so far, and pretty sure they drew against Morocco and they beat Ghana, I'm pretty sure. So they're outperforming right now. So I think that Gabon are going to continue their outperforming and beat Burkina Faso, because Gabon just seem more like a team, like they're gelling together properly, rather than Burkina Faso not really using everyone else on the pitch. I think Burkina Faso was actually lucky to get out of the group, and they were lucky to beat Cape Verde when they had predicted Verde to finish second. I'm not sure what order the games actually are, but I'll just read what's in front of me. Nigeria and Tunisia. Now, I did just say Tunisia didn't get out of the group. I was trying to say they didn't finish second, they finished third. When they probably should have topped that group that they were in. They had like Mali and Gambia in there. They should have topped that group. But this is an easy win for Nigeria. Anything less, if they even concede a goal, I think Nigeria, it's a bad result. Nigeria, they have the much better squad, even without Victor Osimhen. Tunisia, they just seem like something's not clicking after the Arab Cup. They're just not trying their best. That's why they end up losing to Gambia in the group stage. That put them in third. Yeah. So yeah, Nigeria should be an easy win. They got Ndidi, they got Iheanacho, they got Chukwueze, whatever his name is. I don't know exactly what it is, but you know how I'm talking about. Next one is Guinea and Gambia. Gambia's in their first ever major tournament, and they are sorry about that. They are playing out of their skin. They won their first game. They then drew in the 88th minute against Mali when they had less shots, but they had the much better shots. They had 2 free kicks. They crashed off the crossbar, and then they went on to beat Tunisia 1-0. And Guinea, throughout the time I've been watching them, I think the first game I watched them was like in the World Cup qualifiers in 2014. Since then, they have just been wildly inconsistent. They have a very good squad. They got Diawara, Toure, Kawamo, something, and Naby Keita. But they are just way too inconsistent. And Gambia, they're on a high. They're gelling together. Their two main players, Coley and Jaro or Baro, they both play in Italy, so they're both used to somewhat similar play styles. That's why they're playing their best they can. So I'm going Gambia to win this one and go to the quarterfinals in their first ever tournament. There's something different about a team it's like Wales in the 2016 first major tournament in like 30 to 40, 50 years maybe, and they went all the way to the semi-finals just on pure heart alone. So I think Gambia, this is their version of that. So they're going straight to the quarterfinals to me. This is easy. Ivory Coast and Egypt. Now everyone in the world, or in the Arab world at least, say Egypt. The side because of Mohamed Salah, but they don't look at the rest of the team. They think about him and him only. While Ivory Coast, they have a lot more superstars spread out. They have no one of that's anywhere near Salah's quality at the moment, but they have the more well-rounded squad. They've got Wilfried Zaha. I don't know if he's been playing, but he's there. Sebastian Haller, Nicolas Pepe, Kessie, and or someone else. Can't remember his name. So they destroyed Algeria in the last game 3-1, and they just did not like losing. So I'm going Ivory Coast for that one. They're too much of a good team, too much on a good run, and Egypt have been struggling to get through. They lost the first game 1-0, and then they won the next two games 1-0, but only just. So Ivory Coast to go through. Then you got the host, Cameroon, up against Comoros, who shocked Ghana, beat them 3-1, 3-2, which pushed them out of the group. But they're up against the hosts, Cameroon, who I think they're the highest scorer so far in this tournament. So, yeah, Cameroon to win. They've just got more heart at the moment, only because they're the host. And they got Onana back in the goals. And Abubakar is pulling back his form that he used to have back in the day. And then you got Senegal and Cape Verde, or Cabo Verde. I don't know. Senegal have been severely underperforming. I know they haven't had Mendy in goal because he was still recovering from coronavirus, but he is in the squad, so he might come in now, or he might come in the quarterfinals if they get through. But they have just been way inconsistent. Cape Verde, I regard them pretty high, just because they have such a. Like you look at some of the players and where they're playing over in Europe in the top leagues in Asia, they have a very solid squad all across the park, and they get to feed off Portugal because they were part of Portugal. That's why they're you see a lot of players change nationality from Cape Verde and Portuguese, so they can nab some of those players and make them part of their national team. But Senegal do just have the better squad, so Senegal have to win that one. But they have been wildly inconsistent. They've had one win, and that was in the 97th minute penalty against Malawi or Zimbabwe. It was Zimbabwe. And then they drew the next two games 0-0. Like they topped the group with 5 points, but having scored one goal in 3 games, that's poor. So Senegal have to go through, but I would not be surprised if they don't go through because of how inconsistent and non-threatening they've been. You got Morocco and Malawi. Malawi is on a high. I don't think it's their first ever tournament. I think it's their second. Because they beat Zimbabwe 2-1, but that was with their striker. I forgot his name. I'm not even going to say it. That'll get me in prison. But yeah, it's just him. Everyone else is obviously they're good enough quality. It's not just a one-man team, but he's the only one of prevalence that's actually performing up to their standard, if you know what I mean. But they are going up against Morocco. Morocco, they're one of the better teams at this tournament. So yeah, even though they didn't bring Hakim Ziyech in, they've still got Hakimi. They've still got Boyno, I think, and El Nassiri up front. So yeah, Morocco have to win this one. And then the last one is Mali versus Equatorial Guinea. I'm surprised Equatorial Guinea got out of the group. And Mali, I regard them at really high. I think even after the World Cup third round draw for Africa, where they're up against Tunisia, which they already beat 1-0 in this tournament, I think they can make their first ever World Cup when those two games come around, whenever the hell that is. Mali does have a very good squad, and not just a very good squad, a squad that is connected and playing well together, because that's the difference in Africa. You've got all these national teams with huge amount of like different ethnicities, well not ethnicities, like tribes and cultures and stuff. And when you chuck them all on a national team, it looks good on paper. Could be like one of the best teams in the world. But if they're all from different tribes and all this, they're all doing it for their own reasons. They're not doing it for the country. Because African people will, because back in World War II or something, when they drew the lines, the Europeans drew the lines, they didn't care about any of their ethnicities. That's why there's so many problems in African football still, I think. But Mali, they just seem to be constantly connected and playing super well together against tough teams like Tunisia, who got the Arab Cup final, like I said before. Yeah, Mali and Cote d'Ivoire, I would say, are the most connected teams at this tournament. Maybe Cameroon just behind, but they are, in that first game, they were lucky to get a win, Cameroon, I think. So I think Mali will win that one. So I'm going Gabon, Nigeria, Gambia, Ivory Coast, Cameroon, Senegal, Morocco, and Mali to make it through to the quarterfinals. So yeah, that's all I've really got to say. Yeah, thank you again for if you are watching, if there's anyone watching this. Yeah, don't have to subscribe if you don't want to. I'm just sort of just talking nonsense. So I don't just keep it all in my head. So if I am right about something like Gambia winning, there's proof, and I'm not just talking to myself about it. I actually told people that I was right. So yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you for the quarterfinals. Bye.